Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. Ooh, let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. I wanna talk about it. Let's talk about it.
Corsicana, Texas. What's up, Dallas Fort Worth? What's up, Houston, Texas? Welcome back to the show. We are your show hosts. We go by the Burning Coals podcast. I'm your show host. I go by the name of Mr. Know Our Reactions. Right there on the side of me, right there by the logo, the man, the myth, the legend, the big fella, Bougie Weirdo. Get up for B-Dub, Bougie Weirdo. Right up on the B-Dub, we got the man, the myth, the legend. He goes by the name of Gentleman Jamal. Get up for G-Man. And then right there next to G-Man, right up under me, she's the first lady of the Burning Coals podcast. She goes by the name of Educated Queen. Give it up for Educated Queen. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. So we are the Burning Coals podcast. Here is where we have fire interviews, hot topics, burning questions, serious conversations, and we say what needs to be said on this show. So we thank you guys for joining us for another episode number 64. And you see the title, it's called The FriENdnemy. And we're definitely gonna get into some discussions about that, whatever. But we just had to let you guys know that. But we do have a comment section. And if you want to be able to comment, you can put your comments in the screen and we'll read them out. And also, if you want to be able to come on to the show and you want to give a shout out, you want to ask us questions. You want to say, G-Man, I think the Cowboys going to the Super Bowl this year. You know, you can, whatever you need to do, you can definitely do it and come at us and definitely do it because we do have two platforms that you can go to and visit to come onto the show. We have the Facebook platform, and we also have the YouTube streaming platform as well. So now that the rules are set and clear in place, we all just want to say, let's get into this. The panel, how you guys doing today on this Tuesday? It's a little bit cooler today. How you guys doing?
Yeah, a little bit cooler. It's what, about 89?
It's better than these triple digits though, B-Dub.
Facts.
It is better than these triple digits, man. G-Man, I said you made it back to Texas, brother.
Yeah,
you on that road over there.
Yeah, I finally made it back. You know what I'm saying? I left Mr. Charlie in the dust. He tried to catch me, but he couldn't. I'm still free. And I'm back and I'm ready, baby. Let's do this.
EQ. I think EQ having some issues with her internet, but we're gonna go ahead and keep on moving with EQ. She'll definitely jump in. But you know what though? It's been some issues with like cell phones and all that or whatever, man. You guys been checking up on that?
And this is my son, Micah Parsons Diggs.
Oh, yeah, Micah Diggs.
Micah Diggs.
Yeah.
This is Micah Diggs. He's gonna be rocking all season.
Yeah, Micah Diggs.
Y'all get used to it. When we win, you're gonna get Micah.
Yeah.
You lose, and I'll let him sleep.
Yeah. Don't wake him up, huh?
Don't even bother. Cool.
So what you're saying is we're not gonna see him.
CB Dub, see.
I shouldn't worry about seeing him this year.
I show H-Town love. I said, listen, I'm a Houston fan. As long as y'all don't play my Cowboys, which y'all are not playing this season, hey baby, I'm with you. What's the new coach?
DeMeco Ryans.
DeMeco Ryans. I think he's gonna do pretty good, man. I'm pulling for the brother.
Yeah, black coach, man. I'm supporting. I'm doing it for the culture. Y'all definitely got some picks. All that. Y'all strong. Y'all looking good. So I'm not anti-Texan.
Hey,
I don't interfere with my Cowboys.
It's the same over here. I've been saying the same thing for years. Because I'm waiting for the Texas Bowl. Y'all in the NFC win the AFC. We need to get this Texas Bowl going on. That's what needs to happen. But my only issue is y'all. It ain't the team. It ain't got nothing to do with the team.
But B-Dub, that Texas
B-Dub. This is your problem.
B-Dub, but the Texas Bowl almost happened. Y'all would have beat the damn Bills that year. You know what I mean? Y'all let
Hey,
the
listen,
Bills come back and get
we
them.
don't talk about that. We don't talk
No,
about that.
man, y'all had them Bills beat by what 2-3 touchdowns before they made a comeback. One of the biggest comebacks it was against the Oilers.
Y'all should be happy because if we would have beat the Bills, y'all would have 4 rings.
Don't. First of all, we
Tell me I'm lying.
We already got 5 rings. Hold on.
Oh man,
I didn't want to have to do that, but see, he
oh Lord, here we go.
You know, you got your rings there, huh?
Make sure you knock the dust off of them.
well, first of all, you need to get one.
They don't even make rings.
I'd rather have a dusty ring than no ring.
Put them high school class rings down.
Oh man, boy. Cowboys, Dallas and Houston, boy. It's gonna always forever be a battle that's going on between the 3rd Ward, and Oak Cliff and South Dallas. Yeah,
ain't no battle.
It ain't no battle.
We team Texas at the end of the day. You know what I'm saying? But just have to, hey, you got to put some respect on, hey, anytime they get a good weather pattern, they coming up here.
Yeah,
need some help. We gonna bring you in. Come on up. We know you need us. We gonna take care of you, baby. It's Team Texas, baby. All day.
Like Shaq say, we big brother, you little brother. That's the way it's gonna be.
We the big brother. Man. We are the big brother in this.
Oh man, y'all crazy. So y'all ready to get into this content, man?
Let's do it.
All right, y'all. Let's get ready to talk about it.
Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it.
So the first topic of discussion we're going to discuss is the shooting that happened in Jacksonville, Florida. I believe it was a guy by the name, I know his last name was Paul Merter. I believe he's like a 20-something-year-old kid that worked. He used to work at Family Dollar, and he he was the one responsible for taking the lives of 3 black individual people that lost their lives inside of Dollar General store. And also he before he did all this, whatever, he had written out a manifesto saying that, he was upset, angry with black people, that he hated black people, and so on and so forth or whatever. But before here's the thing though, B-Dub and G-Man, before this guy he was first seen at a black college. I think it's called EWU, something university. It was all black college, and he went there first, but they had turned him around and he had left the location. But the police department is saying that they don't believe that he was trying to target that college. But here's the thing: what trips me out though, B-Dub, is right after he got turned away from the college, he had went to Dollar General. And there was somebody at Dollar General. I think there was a security guard that was there at the Dollar General or whatever. But I guess when he was turned, he didn't want no smoke from the security guard neither. So he kind of just waited. And then once he got fed up or whatever, he went inside Dollar General and then he blasted the place up. He shot those people. But the thing about it is see, law enforcement are trying to say that this guy's main issue, whatever, that he was not targeting that college, and that they're trying to. It's almost like they're trying to find ways to not make this thing worse than what it is, whatever. And it's an issue. You see what I'm saying? They trying to cover up everything or whatever. You can't do that, especially after he turned around, went to the Dollar General and shot those people up. You don't think he would have did the same thing if he went inside that all black college? Killed them. You don't think he would have did the same thing that he did at the Dollar General that he did, when he went before he turned around inside that college. So I don't understand what's going on with why law enforcement feel the need to not, try to downplay the situation that's going on with this guy. What do you guys' thoughts and opinions about that, G-Man and B-Dub?
SOS. SOS. Same old shit, different day. It's always, crack epidemic, criminals, bad people, horrible. Gotta have war on drugs. White people get strung out on pills. Oh, it's an epidemic. It's a sickness. They need to be treated. They need help. Same old thing. We do something, thug, degenerate, throw them under the jail. They do something, We have to look at this from a mental health perspective as well. No, we don't. It is what it is. Like it don't get no more black and white than the actual black and white of the text that he wrote on the paper.
Right.
And on his computer. It was literally in black and white on his computer what his intentions was.
Right.
But and also yet again another gunman of a certain color would have been taken into custody if he had not took the coward's way out.
Right. And he was a coward, B-Dub, because anytime he had been met with someone that had some type of they can defend themselves, he didn't do nothing to these individuals. He did that when he was removed away from the college. And then the first time he had went to the dollar store and he had met that other security officer, whatever. So anybody that had some type of way to defend themselves, see, and that's how a lot of them do, B-Dub and G-Man. A lot of them, they try to find. Matter of fact, they target a lot of people that can't not, or they surprise them, sneak attack and surprise these people who's not, able to defend themselves or don't have any weapons or anything like that to defend themselves, whatever. So a lot of them target people like that. Remember that incident that happened over there in Buffalo, New York? Same thing. This guy went inside there with the intentions to kill, and he killed a lot of people that, couldn't defend themselves at all because, their thing is, and from what it seemed like, let's capture people when they're in their comfort zone or whatever, when they are not expecting to, because who would think that you would go inside of a dollar store or inside of a grocery store that you're going there to end up losing your life or whatever with some type of senseless violence like that. You see what I'm saying? So G-Man, what you think about all that, my guy, with this individual who was shot up at the Dollar General store?
Well, it is my conjecture that the governor has created an atmosphere where that is kind of okay, elevated, should I say? That kind of action is elevated. Not really surprised, right? How many racial shootings or whatever or attacks have been? This is nothing new. It doesn't even shock me anymore, right? It's sad that you can't even go to a Dollar General, which you're talking about, not low income, because if I see a dollar, go buy a Dollar General. But you know what I'm saying? You can't even go to a Dollar General, dollar store, whatever the name of the store was, and just go in there and buy something without somebody saying, okay, you black, I'm finna kill you. Black men and women. So it's tragic. It's tragic. But as you said, the suspected white supremacists, they like to target soft targets. This is why I'm
right. Soft targets, right.
Making sure that you are not the soft target. Like Dave Chappelle said, I believe every black person who is legally able to carry should absolutely exercise your right to do so, because you don't know when you can be a target. It has nothing to do with anything other than you was born black, as we saw. These people did nothing to this man, right? You can't go to the dollar store and go home and then somebody's targeting you. But as you said, Mr. Know-It-All, when people came with something to respond him with, he didn't want no smoke.
Right.
He was like a bully. Bullies, they didn't bother nobody who fought back. It didn't matter if you won or lost a fight. If you fought back, the bully he didn't bother you no more. They only like people who don't fight back, and they target, they know who to target. I'm like that. Right.
EQ, what you think about that situation with this gentleman shooting up that Dollar General like that?
It's sad. It was evil. I did hear one report where he went to, I think there's an HBCU nearby, so he was kind of scoping out that place as well. So he had the intention to go and kill black people, period. They can call it whatever. They can try to sugarcoat. This was a race-related crime. It was a hate crime. Unfortunately, those people lost their lives just shopping, minding their own business. I ain't never done nothing to this man. And I do agree for once in my life with G-Man, we all should be carrying. For those of us who are legally able. Now, if you ain't legally able, you don't need to be carrying. You carry your Bible, okay, and your oil. But
I don't know about that one. I might have to disagree
I don't
on
know.
that
Carry
one.
something. Carry you. I don't know. Carry some scissors. I don't know. But
Hey.
he targeted them. This and I knew something like this was going to take place because they weren't going to let that Alabama situation go. So something like this was bound to happen because when we stood together in unity and fought back. Hey, so now let's keep attacking, and if we can continue to stick together, then hopefully we won't see stuff like this happening. And like you said, hey, those of us who are able to carry, because there
Right.
are people out here in this world that do not like us simply because we are black. I mean, I don't care how they try to, word it, how they try to sugarcoat it. We can't deny the fact that racism exists, that evil is planted into the hearts of a lot of people.
But EQ and but
Wait.
EQ,
Pause. I can't continue this show unless B-Dub take down that foolish record under his name.
I saw that.
That's
That's
just my prediction.
what they are.
That's just my prediction.
No, he's saying this is gonna be upcoming season.
Okay. I was like, dang, already.
B-Dub. Make a bet that my Cowboys see. I didn't want to. I ain't tackle Texas, right? I'm bigging them up, but since he put up money that we have a better record than y'all, we're gonna do it on the show right now.
Nah, we'll have to say that for next year.
Go ahead, take that off, then, man.
I'm
I can't
just,
focus. I can't carry the show. I can't carry on with the show. You got this foolishness. 5-12, 8-9. Texas.
I'm just antagonizing because personally, I still stand by what I said. I have not changed my mind. I'm not expecting a whole lot out of our team this year as far as winning. I do expect a lot as far as growth and us building something to move forward in the future. Now, next year,
y'all will do well this season, but don't do that to my boy. See, I don't attack the Texans, right? I'm on code. Texas Spurs as a state now. You take that 5-12 stuff out the way. 8-9. Anyway,
man.
I'm sorry, squirrel. But that just this is bothering me.
But EQ and G-Man, you guys talking about arm yourselves at these locations or whatever. But you darn if you do, you darn if you don't, whatever. Because a lot of these places, okay, let's say for instance they don't have a sign that says weapons are non-prohibited, prohibited or whatever, and you go inside there where you allowed to carry. Okay, now you might have somebody that's working inside there that see you have a gun on you. If you are of color, they gonna take that and be threatened by it or whatever. So you darn if you do, if you darn if you don't. You see what I'm saying?
That's why it's called concealed carry.
It's concealed carry.
I agree.
And if you happen to see it poking out, I'll take that result. Then sitting there letting this low life come in there and execute you and your entire family. I'll take them. Oh, I saw the handle of it sticking out and they called them boys on you. Do what you got to do.
Well, here's the thing though.
I'll take that over 3 people getting killed, massacred. I'll take the results of them calling the cops on me. I'll take my chances.
Well, but see, here's the thing. But a lot of those store clerks, if they see that if you're of color and they see a handle or something like that sticking out of your side of your pocket or whatever, first thing first is that a lot of them ain't gonna call the police. They're trying to deal with it themselves. Whatever they will draw down on you before you even know it. You see what I'm saying?
They not.
Go ahead, EQ. Your mic on mute.
But if it's in my pocket or if it's in a concealed case or something, then I'm not waving it. Then I pose no threat to you. Especially if you have those states where I have a right to carry. Texas being one of them. And here's the thing:
the great state.
Those people, huh? What you say?
The great state of Texas. Put that in there.
Yeah, you have to say the proper name.
You got to call it the proper title. The great state of Texas.
Yes,
or the
sir.
Republic of, anyway, go ahead.
Yeah, go ahead, EQ.
Texas, whatever. But you have those states where you have the right to carry. And who's to say these people weren't armed? They may not have had time because, from what I understand, this man went in like AR-15. Just like as soon as he walked in, he saw the store clerk, boom, which was I think the 19-year-old. He went first, and then like boom, 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 he went after the other ones, and then took the cowardly way out. But they may or may not have been armed. But if I pose no threat to you or your establishment, you can't call the police on me for carrying my handgun.
Yeah, but in a perfect world, yeah, that's the thing, whatever. But people, threat when it comes to feeling threatened in some kind of way, whatever. It's they respond to being feared and afraid or threatened in a certain kind of way, whatever. Like you said, you could just be having it on your side and you don't have no intentions of doing whatever. But somebody that's some people that's not trained or they just looking for an issue, whatever, will create a situation because you walking inside.
Very minute percentage would do that.
But it's still a percentage,
if you carrying it properly, but anything could happen.
I agree.
Like I said, I would take the chances of somebody happen to see that thing sticking out and the clerk calling the cops or drawing whatever, because that has probably never happened. We got to protect ourselves because what happened is not that happens way more often than what the scenario you presented. The scenario in which we are gunned down just for being black has happened countless times. I ain't seen a case where a legal citizen a black man was carrying a gun inside of a store, and then the clerk drew down and shot him. No. What's more likely to happen is what happened at that Dollar General, where somebody just walked in and said, "Hey, you black, and I don't like you, and I'm finna massacre you." So you got to play the odds, and the odds are you better protect yourself, because trust me, once he killed the first person, if the other two pulled up and started rocking back, then he would have took off like he did any other time he was met with any kind of resistance. He would have took off.
Y'all remember back in the day, I believe it was in the early 90s, where the little girl in California, I think her name was Latasha. She went inside that grocery store. She wasn't even armed, G-Man, EQ. She wasn't even armed.
She was armed. She was black. That's your armor. That's your threat.
Right.
I agree. I agree with that. Well, here's what I'm getting around to, whatever. She got blown away over. They created a situation with this girl or whatever. That woman ended up getting killed because they felt that she was stealing a old bag of crusted stale chips with them, and she ended up getting blown away by the Asian woman that worked there. She didn't even have no gun. Yeah, she didn't even have no gun, and she got killed.
Or Harding or something like that.
Right. Yeah. She got killed. She didn't even have no gun. I'm saying what I'm getting around to is there are people that are like that out there or whatever. Like I said, she didn't even have no weapon. Just imagine if she'd have had a weapon and that woman that shot and killed her, it would have been even. It would have been.
Though.
But Mr. Know-it-all, I think you missing something though, because you're not wrong in what you're saying, but what G-Man is talking about, both things are right, but which one is more probable, right? So, I would rather be caught with it than caught without it.
I'm agreeing with you
because those people that you're talking about, just like the example you just gave, they if that's the type of person they are, they'll do that no matter what. Your skin color is gonna trigger that, not anything you got on or what you carrying. So that kind of washes that out, because they're gonna do what they're gonna do regardless. But more than likely, a person is not gonna, especially if it's a known carry state, because people are used to it. Now, and if they see you and they kind of feel some kind of way about it, feel suspect, they probably gonna call the police. They're not just gonna pull out and shoot you because I seen he had a gun. Then they might call the police. And if you legal, then you just do what you need to do. It's gonna be an inconvenience, but I'd rather go through that inconvenience than to be in a situation. And I'm not telling nobody, listen, hey, if you can't legally carry a gun, I'm not telling you to do so. I'm just gonna recite the lyrics of a song from back in the day. I'd rather be judged by 12 than carried by 6.
Carried by 6.
I agree.
And I'm gonna just leave it at that.
Hey,
Right.
before we go on, we gotta let's know it all.
Yeah.
You getting some birthday love. Let's go ahead and acknowledge that before we go too further.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Today is my birthday. Appreciate you guys. Yeah, appreciate everybody for the birthday love on Facebook, and here that's watching the show as well. So I appreciate everybody for the love and the support. Adulation. We say thank you guys. I am 24. Yeah. I am 24 years old, so I'm gonna stand by that as well. So we got
every bit of 60.
So we got some comments in the comment section, and we want to say thank you guys for joining the show. Mr. Ricky Spain, he said if he was black, he would be dead. He also said he thought we would talk about the college shop shooting. Ray Sims, my father, he said, happy birthday, number one son. Love you. Appreciate that, Dad. Thank you for the love and support, and thank you guys for watching. Ray Robinson, thank you for joining the show and thank you for watching. She said, what a valuable do they have in DG to need security? The most expensive thing is headphones and condoms, but seriously, it's sad that non-black commit crimes but don't have to face real consequences as other races. Somebody black must have taken his job. He went back to the one he worked at. Oh, that could be something there, Ray.
Because didn't he work at a Dollar General or a Family Dollar?
It was Family Dollar. Yeah, he worked at a Family Dollar, but he shot up a Dollar General. I get both of them confused, to be honest with you. But just like Ray said, but just like Ray stole. But yeah, right. But just like Ray said, though, okay, who shops? What ethnicity or group of people shop at the dollar store most of the time? You're gonna see us in there.
The kind that live around it, because if you go into them podunks and it's white, it's all whites and at that dollar store.
That's facts.
Yeah, we're not gonna do that.
Po people, because that's
what they yeah, that's economic, socioeconomic. Ain't no race.
Yeah,
so
it is.
Po people, because I go to the dollar store.
Don't buy that dollar store meat in there. Don't do that. That meat and all that and them frozen stuff. Man, they got some dollar store meat in there, man. I'm like, man. Right. Yeah, they got dollar store meat in there, B-Dub. Yeah, I've seen it in there when I went in there with some other stuff.
My stomach hurt just hearing that. Dollar store meat?
Yeah.
That's what you made me buy.
That's what you be cooking for Percy Earl.
Yeah, the dollar store meat had you in the. It had you in the toilet shooting all that stuff out of there, boy. That dollar store meat.
Where Percy Earl at? Somebody said what's happening.
Y'all crazy.
Y'all gonna barbecue with that for the holiday coming up. Dollar store meat.
So yeah, we got this next topic of conversation we're gonna get into. But before we get into that, we hope that Jacksonville Police Department, instead of them trying to downplay everything that transpired, with this shooting, do everything the right way and stop trying to downplay it and trying to, they're trying to downplay it by saying that, hey, his intentions was not to shoot up that HBCU, because he would had he got the opportunity, but he was turned around. So let's not put no false information out there, and for them to try to create a narrative about this monster who terrorized these people out there or whatever. So let's be truthful and honest about it.
What they should be doing is they should be going down his friends list right now.
Man,
putting eyes on
everybody. Yep. And mom and daddy too. Everybody.
This ain't no solo act. They get in these groups and they plan and talk about this kind of stuff. They need to go through his computer. They need to find out everybody he connected to and get eyes on them ASAP.
Right.
But supposedly he was.
You on mute, EQ. You're muting. Okay, she go. Well, we're gonna go ahead and get to the next topic of conversation. So this one is another shooting that transpired in Houston, Texas, about 7 years ago. There was an ex-NFL player by the name of Antonio Armstrong Sr. I believe he played for the San Francisco 49ers at one point, and he had like he played for some other teams in the NFL. He was married to him. He was married to a beautiful sister, and he was killed about 6-7 years ago by their son Antonio Armstrong Jr. Now, they had been going through trial with this whole thing, and they had a hung jury for some time. And Antonio Jr. was placed in. He had an ankle monitor placed on him, whatever, because they took it to trial again or whatever. He was just found guilty on both of his parents' murder.
3 mistrials previous.
Right, 3 mistrials. He did, yeah. But he was just found guilty of his parents' murder. Was last week. They charged him with capital murder. But the sad part about this is like I said, this is a black family, and their son is black. And the way his parents had died, he had put a pillow over the parents' face. He shot the mother 2 times in the face, and he shot the mother died instantly, and then he shot his father, and his father died at the hospital. Well, this kid Antonio, at the time he did this, he was like 16, 17 years old. And he had already had a troubled history anyway. It seemed like he was one of those spoiled, entitled brats, because he was doing all kind of goofy stuff, and with weapons and setting stuff on fire. Just had a real horrible attitude. And I don't believe with his mentality like that, whatever. He was just a spoiled, entitled brat or whatever. So, but they end up finding him guilty on both charges. I mean, on capital murder for killing his mother and his father. But the thing about it is when he did that, he had called the police department, and he was lying to the police department about who shot. And he ended up writing a note and saying, in his writing or whatever, saying that he was watching his father or something like that or whatever. So he planned this whole thing out. So anyway, all that being said, all the information I just armed you guys with, what do you guys think about this whole situation with this disturbed young man who is now 23 years old and has his own child of his own now? What do you guys think about this guy?
Well,
that's a sad story.
I've been telling y'all since we started this show, F them kids. Okay, you talking about an NFL player, millions of dollars, probably gave this ungrateful turd everything he could ever wanted, spoiled him, and guess what he do? Kill him, kill your mom and your dad, all this kind of FTK. I'm the president, and I approve this message.
B-Dub, this happened in your parts of the ground over there, man. What do you think about this situation, man?
Don't surprise me, but go ahead.
Wow, really? You know what? I ain't gonna even go there. I'm gonna let it ride. But no, actually though, I'm gonna say this.
Yeah.
He had 3 mistrials. 3 times prior to finally getting the conviction, they presented evidence. They presented new evidence. They went back and brought in more evidence, and still had 3 mistrials or hung juries or whatever. So I don't think it's as open and shut as we might think it is, because clearly there's something there that the jury and I've just kind of listened to the headlines. I've been following it. I say following it. Whenever they talk about it on the news, I just kind of listen and get little updates here or there, but I haven't been like deep into it. So I don't know exactly what was being said in trial, but clearly there was something there that gave jurors a reason to say, I don't know, I'm not sure. And they finally, it got to the grand jury, and then they convicted.
He did it.
Probably so, maybe so. But I'm just saying, I don't think it's that easy, because grandma is still supporting him. Grandma gonna
support you. You can go out and kill 30 people. Your granny still gonna love you. Come on.
Granny say she riding with him. He ain't.
And granny always gonna ride with you. We already know how that is.
But B-Double, just something about this whole thing just don't sit right at all or whatever, man. Because you look at they said a week before his parents end up getting killed, he had already been firing his weapon. He used that same gun and fired the weapon inside the house. and then he had did some odd stuff with setting something on fire, and then I believe that he has an older brother that had some type of mental illness as well, and they was trying to point the finger at him, at the older brother that had the mental illness or whatever.
One of the kids, him or the kid, one of them kids did it. That's why F them kids, right? That's all they do. They suck money from you, and then they may kill you if you don't do what they want you to do.
G-Man, that's kind of horrible, man.
But you know, that's the struggle of raising your kids in certain areas because they get influenced by some other cultures. Because we know that is a very non-black thing to do. But we do know,
I agree with that.
We do know a certain type of people that is very common thing for them to do. Oh, you won't give me my way? Okay. That's it. That's all I'm gonna say about that.
No, keep it going, B-Dub. No, keep it going about that. Yeah.
No, I mean that's just, but you know, that's just what it is.
The views of B-Dub do not necessarily reflect those of the burning pole.
EQ. Oh, go ahead, B-Dub. I'm sorry.
No, I said that's why I'm gonna leave it right there.
Okay. EQ, what you think about the situation that happened with the football player and
her
his son?
internet is she got the Dollar General internet. So she can't, you might as well move on because
yeah, but like you said, B-Dub, it's kind of that is very strange and it's very rare that us, because how our upbringing is. We don't do stuff like that with kill the mama and the daddy. You know what I mean? And the way that he did it, oh man, we too afraid to even look back at our mom and our dad and give
that's
them,
what we used to
give
whoop
them a
them. They don't whoop kids no more. See, I bet he probably never got whooped a day in his life. Because if you whoop, you listen, you go out there and get the switch or a shoe put upside a belt. The last thing you want to do is harm your parents. They feeding you never, but see, he had so much, right? He probably never told no. Your father's an NFL player, millions of dollars running around, and you just so busy trying to spoil the kids, you're not raising them.
Right.
See what I'm saying? You fathers, you supposed to put the fear of God in your kids in the sense of respect. I'm not saying they're supposed to should be able to talk to you, but harming your parents is like the last thing any person should ever think of. Like, I will harm the entire world before I even think about harming the people that actually fed me, raised me, clothed me, and took care of me. So it's a mindset shift, as B-Dub alluded to. There's some other influences there, probably privilege and all this other stuff. But come on, like that, we don't do that. We don't rarely do that kind of thing happen in our community. That's a one-off. It's unfortunate. It's sad. But I absolutely think he did it, or the kids did it. You got to watch your kids. And when the kids do something, you better knock them upside their head if they need it, because somebody going to do it. You may say, don't worry about it. You don't want to discipline your kids. There's a system in play. They're going to deal with them when they get to a certain age, and you ain't going to like it.
Right. But that says a whole lot about, because he had a male figure in the house. He had a father in the house. So what is going on with this man?
That don't matter, because he was there. Don't mean he was present.
Right.
He was active. That don't mean he just, okay, it's a man in this house, but he ain't ever, I ain't gonna say evidently, because I definitely want to be a victim blamer. So I'm not gonna say the parents did do this. It's just unfortunate in general that a kid that young, that privileged, decide I'm gonna kill my mom and dad. That's deep. Like, that's a whole nother level of,
well, I'm gonna tell you one thing though. I'm gonna tell you one thing, because like I told you guys, it was said and reported that before the mom and dad got killed, he was already firing that weapon inside the house. So if you know that he had that damn gun inside the house and he fired it inside your house, why not take precautions so that way he cannot get to no type of weapon inside your house? You see what I'm saying?
You didn't knock him upside his head,
or something, G man. I'm agreeing with you on that.
Or maybe he did. Maybe he did knock him upside his head.
But he
didn't do it hard enough.
But he was able to get back to that weapon though, B-Dub. Why in the hell is he able to get back to that same weapon that he fired to kill you?
Here's the thing though. And it's not really victim blaming. It's just putting responsibility where it goes. He did it. It's his fault. It's nobody else's fault. He pulled the trigger. However, this is the dangers when people grow up a certain type of way and they say, "Oh, I want to give my kids everything I never got growing up." You better be careful with that. That's why I say it's a struggle, because you want to create a better environment for your kids than you had, but you also have to maintain some type of structure. You have to figure out a way for them to get the lessons that you got without doing it in the way that you had to go through to get them, if that makes sense. And you can't just, I just want to create a great life for my kids and just give them everything, because then they become entitled, and now it means nothing. We've seen it before where people say, kids and parents might get into an argument. The parents say, "What haven't I done for you? I gave you this and this and this," and the kid like, "I don't care," because it's you gave it to them. They didn't have to work for it. There was never no repercussions when they went wrong or this and that. Like you guys are saying, with him already having these previous situations, maybe nothing was done. Or maybe something was done, but it's too late. Because once it hit a certain point, it's too late. That's what I'm saying. Like, you done let all this other stuff go, and now you finally want to knock him over the head, but he already so far gone. He like, all right, I got you. And then here we go. And it's unfortunate. But, parents do have to take some responsibility for how they raise their kids. But at the end of the day, again, the person that does wrong is responsible for the wrongdoing, period. What nobody say.
I agree with that. But here's the thing though, B-Dub.
You gotta be, like I said, you gotta be careful with, spoiling your kids too much or wanting to do too much for them.
Well, B-Dub, here's the thing though, B-Dub, man, and G-Man and EQ, you work you work with kids or whatever. And if I'm wrong, correct me, please do. A lot of these kids, they have more respect for their friends than they do their own parents. A friend can tell them any and everything what to do and how to do it, and a parent can tell them something that's good for them straight up or whatever, man. They won't believe nothing that parent will say, and they will rather get information or be guided by a friend that don't know nothing about no life, don't know nothing about nothing, and they will be willing to listen to them before they take your advice as the parent of that kid. They willing to do that, man.
That's only with certain parents. That's those parents that put up their wall and they never connect with their kid. So they gonna always, parents, everybody get to a certain age where it's like, your parents don't know nothing. They too old. They don't, your peers, you feel like they understand you better, and your parents, they don't get you. They don't understand what's going on. That's why you have to. It's a fine line, and there's no perfect way about it, but you can't be too extreme one way or the other. Trying to be the friend, or I'm gonna be the friendly parent, the cool parent, don't work. They're not gonna respect you. But at the same time, you can't be a brick wall either, and never allow them access to you. You just gotta try to find that middle ground to where you can keep that connection to where they will want to communicate with you, and then they'll want to listen to you. But that's true. But that's the reason why. Because if I can't access you and I don't really know your story or nothing about you, you just dad, and dad just always just telling me what to do and this and that, then at a certain point, I feel like, you don't really understand my life. My friends understand my life, right? Because we in it together. So, which is the same with gangs. That's how so many kids get caught up with gangs. That's the lie that the gangs tell you. Man, I know how it is. I know I went through the same thing. Yeah, we this and that, and then you like, yeah, you do understand me. Okay, you want me to go run down on Willie Johnson? All right, cool. You know what I'm saying? Like, so.
EQ, what you think about all that, EQ? What you think about that?
He said Willie Johnson.
I've seen this work both ways. Kids with fathers in the home and kids without. This kid or this young man could have been raised with both parents. I mean, had a good life, all of that. But even in a two-parent household, attention is still missing. Love is still missing. Respect is still missing. Peace is still missing. All of those attention, all of that, those things could still be missing in a two-parent household. that more focus could have been on another child than this kid. I mean, we don't know. Jealousy exists in two-parent households. You can raise your kids right, and they still gonna grow up and make their own choices at the end of the day. I've seen them. So we don't know. We don't know what the relationship was like with him and his mom and him and his dad. Typically, males have a closer bond with their moms than their dads. So we don't know. But then also, he may not have acted alone, which I don't think he did. That's just my personal opinion. But I don't understand what could get so bad in life that makes you want to take your parents out. I mean, I understand. Even if he wrote them off, hey, I don't want to have nothing to do with y'all. I'm gonna take what I got and I'm gonna go and start my own life or whatever. But how did it get to that point to where you wanted to take your parents? Was it verbal abuse? Was it physical abuse? Because see, these things, because black people, we've been raised to that creed. What goes on in this house stays in this house. So we don't know what was tearing him up mentally, emotionally. We don't know. There has to be something there more than just this sense of entitlement that made him go this far.
Right.
It could be money. It could be money. It could be insurance policy. I don't know. But what could get that bad?
Right. Well, they did charge the guy with capital murder, so they found him guilty on all charges. The guy now he's married. Now he's married. He has a child with the woman. I believe his child's maybe like 1 or 2 years of age or whatever. But they did find him guilty of capital murder. I believe like 31 witnesses had came out and testified against this kid. And from what I had heard, I don't know if it's been reported or whatever, but from what I had heard, the everything that they were testifying against this kid was a troubled individual. He was troubled, and it wasn't beyond the scope. It wasn't beyond the realm of this kid was a big time individual who was disturbed, and he was a big time liar as well. So that wasn't outside the realm of possibilities there.
You know what? Not to cut you off. Again, kind of going back to what we were talking about with all these other incidents. Kids do stuff for attention too. To EQ's point, maybe that attention wasn't there. Like, I'm not advocating for the kid. I'm just saying we gotta look at it from both sides. If he's doing these things to get attention, and it's not there, and they're not showing him the attention that he needs, or trying to get him some help, because I didn't hear anything, and I could be wrong unless I missed it. I didn't hear anything about him going in any type of facility, like the parents, putting him in some type of facility to get him help or anything like that. So we can't discount that either. This could have just been the tipping point of him trying to get attention from his parents.
Yeah, it could have.
I'd have set the car on fire. Y'all ain't do nothing. I'm shooting a gun in the house. Y'all ain't do nothing. I done went kicked Miss Jackson's dog. Y'all ain't do nothing. See what I'm saying? And again, it's not about victim blaming. It's just the fact, looking at it from all angles and just trying to figure this thing out. But either way, he got 40 years to think about it. So
yeah, man, because I'm tell you something, B-Dub, man. That courthouse don't give a damn about black folks having mental illness. I'm telling you, there ain't no defense in the courthouse. They can care less. You can be, and they can sit there and see you and have video and everything of you having a mental issue, a mental breakdown, or whatever. They still gonna ring you up. There's no defense for it at all. They're gonna ring you up. That's just bottom line too. That's how they treat us. So, with that family, with the Armstrong family, condolences and thoughts and prayers are out to them, to them or whatever with this senseless crime that transpired. And nobody win in this situation. The son getting 40 years, and the mom and dad is deceased. What about the brother that's left behind that has a mental issue? He's left behind. So the pieces are broken there or whatever. So it's just a troubling thing, whatever, man. And I hope everything work out to the best, and prayers and thoughts and prayers with that whole family and friends that was affected by that. So there it is. This next and final subject we're going to talk about, and this one's it's a little bit more, it's not as doom and gloom as the first two subjects we talked about. So it's a little bit more, it's not as dark as the first two subjects. But Mr. Steve Harvey, he has been viral all over the internet. supposedly, and he's being viral in the more of a negative, I guess negative, embarrassing kind of way. But Mr. Steve Harvey has been, in the news because his wife, Marjorie Harvey, they're allegedly saying that he has been cheated on by Marjorie Harvey with the bodyguard. I forget what's the name of the bodyguard, B-Dub? I think his name Big Show or something like that. Big something. B-Dub, you on mute. You on mute, B-Dub. Go ahead. Big U something.
Was it Boom? Big Boom.
Big Boom. Yeah, he a big brother too,
like
man.
That.
Yeah, he a big brother too, B-Dub. So so he's been trending with that, his wife Marjorie, had cheated on him, whatever. And all kind of people have been allegedly. And I believe Steve Harvey, if I'm not mistaken, I saw a video. It could have been an old video, but he is talking about that him and his wife are fine. There's nothing more to it as far as like infidelity going on and so on and so forth, whatever. But a lot of people that claim that they are cool with Steve Harvey and his wife, saying that there's some inside stuff that's going on inside the house that Steve is not happy that's going on or whatever. So B-Dub, G-Man, if he's still there, what you guys think about everything that's going on with Marjorie Harvey and Steve Harvey?
Well, first of all, I mean, would we be surprised if it was true? I mean, how did their relationship start?
Oh, to my Steve and his wife?
Yeah. She allegedly cheated with him. You
right.
don't think she would cheat on him?
Right. Right.
Allegedly.
Right. But B-Dub, you remember when Steve Harvey was writing that book and did the movie about Think Like a Man and all that old BS pandering stuff that he was doing, and now come to find out, like, all the negative stuff about Steve Harvey came out during that time. Because you remember when Steve was married to his first lady, that someone, the little lady he's married to in here in Texas, whatever, and they had kids and stuff, and so on and so forth, and how he had left her in the dust and moved on with his life or whatever. You see what I'm saying? So this is nothing but another episode of the chicken coming home to roost, and Steve Harvey is getting what he had dished out, what way he did his first wife. And I'm gonna be honest with you, I think Steve Harvey, and I want to say nothing. I don't want like I'm trying to slander the guy or whatever, but something about him just don't sit right with me at all, period. You see what I'm saying? Because he, that's too many comedians. There's too many people that's outspoken about Steve Harvey and how he is as a person, and it ain't good. And these people, you hear more than one person saying this about this guy. What you saying, EQ?
Yep. Now I'm just agreeing with you because, man, I just found out can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you. We can hear you. EQ.
Okay, I'm agreeing with you. I'm not a Steve Harvey fan, and y'all can't. I'm sorry, I'm driving.
EQ is not driving, everybody. She's in a parked car. Just FYI.
G-Man, what you think about everything's going on with Steve Harvey?
Can y'all hear me now?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Oh, now here she comes.
Hello?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Thank you. No, I'm just saying I'm not a Steve Harvey fan. I think like you say, karma's coming back because he also not only did his wife wrong, his first wife, and I remember that case in Texas, but he also did some other comedians wrong. So karma is just paying him back for what he's done.
Right. G-Man, what you think, my guy?
And anybody out there
EQ, your phone is mute.
She going to pick up Percy from Bingo.
All right, G-Man, what you got, my guy?
So shout out to the chat. I'm the same way, Deborah Curry. Nobody should be taking marital advice from Mr. Harvey. Now I know he says a lot of inspirational stuff. I'm not taking anyway. He's a hardworking man, whatever. But we all know his track record. of what he's done and all this other stuff. And uh, I would caution anybody from taking relationship marital advice from this guy, right? That's just my own 2 cents. You spend it wisely. Now, whether or not this whole scandal is true, that his wife is messing with the bodyguard, I don't know. There's been reports, a few reports that are saying that it's, is there some truth to it? Possibly. I'm trying to wait till all the evidence kind of unfolds before I make okay. Would I be surprised? No. Right? Who really thought that them two? I mean, come on. We all know why she's there.
Right.
We know why she's there. Okay. So let's just not play where, okay. So the same way I ain't gonna say the same way you get him the same way I don't know. But I will say is I wouldn't have married her. I'm Steve Harvey. I wouldn't have married her, right? You had nothing to gain in that situation, sir.
At all.
Everything to lose and nothing to gain.
Yep.
But he did, to every, grown man, do what he want to do. But I wouldn't take advice from him. Survey says do your thing on the thing, but so far as relationship advice, I wouldn't. But shout out to Steve, because what a lot of people don't know is Steve kind of got his start in the Metroplex here. And that's where Erykah Badu started in his comedy club in Dallas and Oak Cliff back in the day, but that's another topic for another day. So I'm not knocking his work ethic, his talent as whatever he does, but so far as relationship advice and this whole mess with him, who didn't see that coming?
Right.
And I'll leave it right there.
Yeah, I don't think nobody's surprised. I think the more interesting story, because I don't follow Steve Harvey like that. I like the movies. I tried to read the book. I gave him a first shot. I tried to support and go, but thankfully, when I went in the bookstore, I just skimmed through the first chapter before I put my money down. I don't even think I made it through the first 4 pages, and I knew that was garbage. But the movies are cool though. But I think the bigger story is his kids, because now since this cheating scandal's come out, everybody want to expose everything and stuff started coming up. His kids have actually been speaking out lately about how they feel about him allegedly showing more preferential treatment towards Lori than them, his biological. Lori, that's his stepdaughter. That's not his biological. But apparently he been showing her more time, more love, being more of a father to her than he had to his own kids. Which a lot of other people are kind of doubling down on that, and even his ex-wife has come out. She got in trouble because they had a gag order as a part of their divorce where they wasn't supposed to speak about certain things, and she just like, screw it, I just deal with the consequences. And she been saying some stuff that his youngest son. He abused him one time, not continually, but got on him one time and beat him so bad he had he basically was peeing on himself, was using the bathroom on himself for like 2 or 3 days because out of just nervousness or fear or whatever, I don't know, trauma from that whooping or beating as it may be. So I think, to me, that's a bigger story. I think Marjorie, ooh, I knew you. I even knew your name, So, yeah, how you come in is usually how you go out. They came in on some foo-foo type stuff, so I wouldn't be surprised if some foo-foo type stuff going on right now.
Yeah, but it's Hollywood, so that type of stuff goes on in Hollywood all day long, whatever. That's one reason why I wouldn't put it past them. But again, I've been saying this all along. Like I said, when we first started talking about this show today, with the whole Steve Harvey situation, it's coming up to catch him. Everything that he done did with messing over, this is not me saying this, whatever. There's people that's actually, been interviewed and said how Steve Harvey done screw people over in the industry. He had a thing. And then, the sad part about all this, whatever, you remember when they did the Kings of Comedy, and they were saying it was coming out that Bernie Mac was basically he was the star of the Kings of Comedy. but Steve Harvey was trying to put this rain cloud over him. And because they saying Steve was jealous of the success that Bernie Mac was doing, because at that time, you remember, Steve had his own show. What's his name? DL Hewlett had his own show. Cedric the Entertainer. All of them had their own shows. Bernie Mac didn't at the time. You remember that? He didn't have his own show at all. But they were saying that Steve was really jealous of Bernie Mac coming up, and he tried everything in his power to try to stop him from climbing up to the next level. But Bernie Mac ended up, doing everything on his own, well, not on his own, but he ended up catching them anyway. And Steve felt some kind of way, but then he's going to have the nerves, as snake as he was, or as he is, and go up and have a nerve to show up at that man's funeral and act like everybody's kumbaya or whatever. And I didn't like that at all, man. So I'm telling you, things that he's done has caught up back to him or whatever. And it is what it is. B Dub, what you gonna say, my guy?
Big Red Davis did it. He came to Jimmy's funeral. Why Steve can't go to Bernie's funeral?
You missed
Anything I can do for you.
Anything I can do to you, Eleanor.
And got slapped. That's what he did.
I like Will Melvin's comment. Steve is like that toxic fun uncle, even in his comedy, because Steve was never punchline funny.
No,
it's just how he carry himself is a lot of times what make his comedy funny. Bernie Mac was rest in peace, was a hilarious human being and a genius comic. His delivery, the way he put his jokes together. So yeah, I can imagine he would be jealous. He should be jealous.
But Bernie Mac was the funniest of all of them anyway. To me, he was.
100%.
I mean, matter of fact, like I've seen Cedric the Entertainer, and from what I understand, Cedric the Entertainer and DL Hughley were the same way. They kind of helped Steve Harvey. I wouldn't say blackball Bernie Mac, but they kind of had a hand in it too. And I can see that. And it's sad that brothers are just like that, because it's enough money for all of us to get some. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, Steve Harvey, I've never been a fan. I'll just be honest. Yeah.
Man, listen, but going back to Laura, not Laurie Harvey, but Marjorie, his wife.
She married that man for money. Just tell it like it is.
She kind of
wanted $10.
Yeah, and she kind of got that Larson Pippen kind of feel to me. You know what I mean? She kind of like Larson Pippen and all that. That's what she kind of got that kind of aura. You know what I mean?
You can't say names on the air.
Well, I said it.
Just like, you see, G-Man and B-Dub done got off their skirt.
The views.
I mean, yeah, it's like Steve Harvey knew that. See, Steve Harvey thought he had a keeper, but that lady was out for money. He knew that. You married that younger woman. He way older than her. Surely it couldn't have been about nothing else but money.
Right.
Like, he knew that. So, like they say, what goes around comes around. And she finna get him for something. I don't know what, but she gonna walk away with something.
Yep. But you know what? But remember Marjorie? She was in the streets messing with the street dudes at the time. You know what I'm saying? Y'all remember that? Before she met Steve. Matter of fact, her I think her ex, he just got out of prison, and he was doing a podcast and talking about his relationship with Marjorie and so on and so forth or whatever. And talking about, he was airing out some, he didn't say a whole lot, but he just gave you just a little bit knowledge and understanding on the world that Marjorie comes from and how things had went with them before she ended up marrying Steve Harvey. Because of supposedly the guy that she was married to at the time, whatever, he was in the streets. He was a dope boy. And, he had a little money, whatever, man. But that's what Marjorie liked, and I believe she maybe still do like. Because especially, with the bodyguard that she cheated with or whatever, allegedly, he's kind of, in the streets as well. So she like those kind of guys.
Every thug needs a lady. Oh, my bad.
Look at Ray Robinson. Ray Robinson says she wanted all the ones. So, but we got some comments in the comment section, so we can go ahead and read this before we get ready to get out, close this one out. So, Will Melvin, we thank you for joining the show, man. Will Melvin says Steve has always been a snake to me. Yeah, man.
Yep.
He's a toxic fun uncle, And he also said it happens that way sometimes. We all got favorites.
Yeah.
Marcus Lewis, appreciate you joining the show. He said, love to see Course Camp putting on. Yes, sir, man. We trying to
Already,
do what we
baby.
do,
What's
brother.
up, classmate?
And then Brittany Simone said, all
at
you
y'all.
do is
Y'all so
spin
cool.
record. Rest in peace, Brandon Mack. Yeah,
All
yeah,
you do is spin record.
that's it. That's
All you do is spin record. That's all you do.
Spin record.
Blue,
Uh-huh.
blue.
Better get out my face. Better get out my face. It's gonna be
Oh,
It's gonna be
trouble.
Trouble.
Yeah, man, that's a funny dude. Yeah, that's a funny dude. Will
But y'all do know tricks is for kids. And G-Man got 4 of them. No, I'm just playing. Go ahead.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. No, go ahead.
And then Will Melvin said that she likes Slacker D. Let's be honest.
Basically.
That's what it is. That's what it is. So let's go ahead and get our last remarks, man, before we close this one out. EQ, you got anything you got? EQ? G-Man, what you got, my guy?
She picking up Percy here.
I am not.
Go ahead, EQ. Go ahead.
It's good to be above ground and not beneath. And thank y'all for those of y'all who come in, Will Melvin and Ray Lonta. Thank y'all so much for always supporting us. And for those of you who, and Brittany and Marcus, hey, thank y'all so much for commenting. To the Sims family, y'all know I love y'all. Nothing but love. Except Ray. I don't like Ray because he always talking about them cowgirls, and they gonna be sorry this year. It's gonna be the gonna be the no. We thank y'all for the love and support on this podcast, and I'm sorry that my internet was tripping earlier, and I don't know why G-Man got this foolishness down here in the bottom screen. That's right. How did it be the? Because G-Man get no, but thank y'all so much. I love y'all, and peace and hair grease to all y'all.
Yep. G-Man, what you got, my guy?
It's another day, another conversation. Great talking, everyone. I love everyone. Nobody told you they love you today. We do. Ain't nothing you can do about it.
Right. B-Dub?
Hey, man, listen. Do something today that your future self will thank you for.
Yep. And the burning coals giving you the bag moment is, look, it's a war out there, man. Arm yourself. Be prepared for anything. Don't get caught slack. Don't get caught slacking or lacking, because they are definitely out there trying to hurt you, whatever. So make sure you keep yourself on guard at all times, whatever. Don't go around thinking everything is sweet, because it ain't. So now that you got the bag, what you going to do with it? So that being said, we are the Burning Coals Podcast. We say thank you guys for joining another episode number 64 of the Burning Coals Podcast. I'm Mr. Know-It-All. Right there on the side of me, Bougie Weirdo. Up on the Bougie Weirdo, we got G-Man, and then we got the first later the Burning Coals Podcast go by the name of Educated Queen. We say thank you guys. We see you guys next Tuesday, same time, same channel, 8 o'clock p.m. Central Standard Time. Share, like, subscribe, let your friends know where to go. And happy birthday to me. Yes, indeed. Let's go. Peace is up.